There's one thing about y'all. You're just as fruity as nut cake. That's for dang sure.
Tell him are you a lifetime member of the NRA, Pat?
Yes, sir. Right over yonder. That's my what you call it? Yes, certificate.
The certificate. Why are you a lifetime member of the NRA?
Well, I joined it in December of 1947. Because I decided that I was tired of carrying a Thompson submachine gun.
Tired of carrying that, so why does the NRA change that?
Well, it didn't change it. It's just I wanted the word rifle on it.
Oh, okay.
In
Rifle.
place of Thompson gun.
National Thompson Gun Association.
I guess I'm probably. I guess I may be the only human in the world ever cut a tree down from the top to get at a guy that shot me in the stomach.
And didn't y'all shoot the limbs off of it? Then you said you went up one side.
There wasn't no
down
limbs.
the other?
It looked like it when it was young and it been maybe chopped off.
That was the wooden bullet incident?
Yeah.
Tell that
He
story.
shot me in the stomach with a dang wooden bullet, and I thought I was gonna die. And they got me stopped bleeding, and the old medic said, "Well, Sarge, I think I can get that out of there." I said, "Well, get the so-and-so thing out." He pulled it out, and it looked like a piece of old creosote
Really?
telephone pole.
Why weren't they shooting lead bullets?
I don't know, but I got mad then. Well, they convinced me I wasn't gonna die.
Shot you in the stomach, so you got mad.
Well, no, I was so loaded with morphine, but then I didn't give a flip what else. So I started chewing on that tree with that Thompson gun. And after I got off, well, it wasn't really, it was just tearing it up. A rifle almost looked like it's almost long in here at that door, but with a bayonet and a telescope about that long, about that big around on it. That fell out. Well, I quit. We kept waiting for the body to fall out. When no body wouldn't fall out. Dick Ringle, he said, he was my main buddy. He said, "I'm gonna go over and get," I said, "You ain't going nowhere. I'm gonna get the flat-eyed so-and-so myself." So they handed me a cool gun. That sounds silly too, don't it? A cool gun. A cold gun.
Cold gun.
Yeah.
Cause you'd shot how many? Fired
Why?
1,000 rounds out of yours. Hot.
Well, I couldn't have shot over 300, but it still wasn't empty. So anyway, they handed me a fresh gun, and I started coming down that tree. Just all you had to do was just move it like that. See, just one quick squeeze like that, and it'd go off anywhere from 3 to 5 times. Yeah.
Yeah. They're fast.
There wasn't no way to shoot it single shot unless you flipped the lever. And I wasn't interested in single shots anyway. That's the reason I liked it so well. And it didn't come in the way what a M1 Garand did. But anyway, I got to work on that sucker.
So what, he just get hung in the limb or something?
No, he was tied to the tree and they shot one of the slugs shot his rope in two.
Oh. He was tied to the tree.
Yeah. And that's the reason he didn't fall out. I got him probably in pretty well by the time he dropped his rifle. Otherwise, why would he have dropped his rifle, you know?
What was the number you told me about how many confirmed kills you'd had?
502.
502.
Yeah, now 2 of them were in civilian life as a deputy sheriff. But as far as the Army is concerned, 500 plus. Now, if you want to know what the plus is,
Ain't no telling.
that's when you got a bunch of, you know there's a bunch in that hole and you're afraid to get close to it. And you start lobbing in hand grenades,
Right.
TNT. The man with the flamethrower comes up and gives it 4 or 5 squirts in that hole. Then the combat engineers of the Seabees, there's always one of them with you. They made what was called satchel charges.
Satchel charge.
Yeah, about the size of a briefcase. Now, I don't know what was in it, 'cause I was scared to death to even look at it, much less open one of them up, you know. Yeah, crimping dynamite caps with my teeth was scary enough. On a 3-second fuse.
Oof.
That's when you've lost your tool, and you gotta crimp that and then stick it in a quarter-pound block of TNT. You throw it about halfway out yonder, it blow the window glasses out of every car out there. Anyway, the combat engineers, or CBs, would seal that thing, and when they'd set that charge off, you might watch a ton from here to Ike's car just fall in.
Yeah. Just.
Yeah, just fall in.
Yeah.
So I'm sure there was a lot more killed underground in those particular situations than there was.
So that's five. So they say 500 confirmed kills. That means
That means that was
they
counted.
know they saw you hit them.
That means they were counted by a commissioned officer.
Right. The plus
above
is just,
the rank of captain or up.
yeah. When's the first time you ever shot a gun, Pat?
First gun I ever
First
shot.
time. When's the first time you ever shot one?
How old was I?
Yeah.
I'd say 6.
When'd you start smoking?
When I was 6.
Started smoking when you 6.
Yeah. We grew tobacco. We had a tobacco farm, and we'd dry it, hang it up. You know, it'd dry and cure out. You roll it up, get it broke up best you could, and then you take a piece of brown paper bag, roll it up, wrinkle it, and then roll you up it is an ugly looking thing.
6 years old seems a little young to be smoking.
Well,
You didn't get in trouble?
no. Mama told me when I was about 6.5. No, I was going on 7. She said, "You don't need to hide out and smoke, don't you?" She didn't smoke, of course. My sister didn't either. Said, "Don't you know I can smell the smoke when you come in the house?" My first dog's name was Tag.
Tag.
My Uncle Fred Spann gave him to me the day I was born. Of course, I didn't know it. But we grew up together. He got run over by a car while I was overseas. He was 19 years old.
Old.
But his ears was just shreds. He'd go in them groundhog holes and get them groundhogs and drag them out. They good eating, man. And you tan the skin if you know how. And you talking about fine leather.
Really? Groundhog leather?
Groundhog leather. The people that bought furs, see, I'd save everything. Skunks, possums. Possum bring 35, 40 cents. If you could get a black skunk, he'd bring up as much as $2. But most of them had some white on them somewhere. And anyway,
How do you go about skinning a skunk?
God. Did you ever get sprayed by a skunk?
Yeah, oh yeah, I got
You
sprayed.
smell a little bit like a skunk right now.
I know.
I smell something.
No, it's rubbing off of you.
Yeah, is that what it is? I'll give you that, and then I'll give you that.
I'll give you this first.
Both of them.
I'm quicker than you are. Now, I don't say I'm as strong as you are, but I still believe I got a 300-pound punch.
I won't challenge you on that. We got the fire cooking, right?
Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Now, you've heard, let me ask you if you've ever heard this song. Now, I only know a few words. Here comes Sal with a tickle in the grin, the groundhog gravy all over her again. Granny says there ain't no such song ever existed.
Granny, you ever heard that song before?
Who did you hear sing that song? Where did you hear it?
Probably at the Grand Ole Opry, but when I rode down there when I was 8 or 10 years old
Yeah.
in a truck, we sat on bales of hay and they had tuba twills on blocks of wood. That's what. Well, they didn't have enough seats.
Yeah.
Who played at the Opry when you went down there? Do you remember
Oh,
who
good
you saw?
Lord! And Bill Monroe and Uncle Dave making Roy A. Cup. I can't remember.
Minnie Pearl?
I don't think Minnie Pearl come along till I was about probably 12 or 13. I'm not sure of that now.
Wow, Uncle Dave Macon was
Well, Uncle Dave
the
Macon,
original.
the only person I ever saw that was a better banjo picker than Uncle Dave Macon was my brother-in-law, Travis Watson. And you ought to ask his son and daughter and different ones what, and they'll tell you. He could make it bark like a dog, talk like a human, and he wrote all his own songs.
Really, he's a songwriter.
Yes,
Well,
his name was Travis Watson. He's my oldest.
I might have to put his name in a song one of these days.
Travis
What would he
Watson.
have been to me and Isaac, cousin wise or uncle wise? What is
Well, he was my oldest sister's husband.
oldest sister's husband?
He was
He
my
was your
brother-in-law.
brother-in-law, so he
My
would be our
brother-in-law.
great uncle-in-law,
Yeah.
virtually. Yeah.
And he made his own fish hooks. He was conservative.
I'd say.
He spent 5 years. He bought me a banjo, secondhand, of course. Give $5 for it. And he spent 5 years, and I finally got to where it's through so much habit of doing the same thing over and over that I could play several notes of either red.
You learn how to play a banjo?
No, I can't whistle, I can't sing, and I could never learn to play a banjo. And I know I need to put my teeth in.
Well, you're going to be remembered a lot by this tape, so if you want to have teeth in, oh, careful. Cheryl's off balance here.
Oh, it's over.
If it was me, I would probably put my teeth in, yeah.
Oh, okay.
But that's just me. Do whatever you want.
Now, I'm not gonna say that's any improvement, but I might.
Oh, that's a lot better. You look about 25 minutes younger. I want you to look at this, at Pap's hands. These are the most ridiculously mangled hands. I mean, how do you get a finger that does that right there? Look at this.
Every finger's a story.
Every
I'm
finger's
thinking.
a whole nother deal. And what's crazy is his older sister, who's no longer here, Aunt Edna, had the exact same finger, exact same hand, did the exact same thing. So
No kidding.
let's just.
But the general tearing
And
up
he can
was
still tie a
over
fish hook.
350 fist fights. I mean boxing matches.
Golden Gloves. How many fights?
Oh, the Golden Gloves, I never fought but 20. Probably about between 350 and 375 total.
What was your record?
Huh?
What do you reckon your record was? Wins and losses.
Yeah. You told me.
I didn't have a loss.
There you go.
I've never had a loss. My youngest sister she was awful. I really in a way still hate her. She would start fights with the whole family. See, we had all 8 grades. I got the picture of us in that school, in a one-room schoolhouse. All 8 grades out Bristoltown, Kentucky. But she'd get in trouble with 4 or 5 kids. And I had 2 choices. Mama would beat the living daylights out of me if I didn't help her. And if I went in there, I was going to get the living daylights beat out of me before I could knock them all out.
Right.
And that was back when I was 7, 8, 9, 10 years old. We don't count those fights.
You expect us to believe these stories?
Yeah.
Hey, before it gets dark, let's go in here, get the shotguns, and go outside and hit some skeet.
I can't shoot.
I'll shoot, you pull.
It's harder to pull than it is to
You
shoot.
can do it. You did it the other day. Let's get
Yeah, and
out
I
there and
paid
shoot.
a price for it too.
We gotta get out. We gotta hit a few before it gets too dark.
Okay.
Let's grab a 12 gauge and let's go hit some skeet before it's too dark for me to see it.
Oh, which one you want to use?
I want to use you got them Mossberg?
You want mine, don't you?
Yeah.
Well, I thought I
That's
got.
the one I shoot best with.
All right, now I'll show you how fast you can work. No, wait a minute. Let me get it unloaded.
Yeah, you got it.
Zoom in. Now this is how fast
What
you
kind
can
is that?
unload and shoot it.
There you go. Whoa. That's all buckshot there.
That's all buckshot.
We got shit.
Wait a minute, what's that gonna do to Wilford?
Nothing. He don't care.
He don't care.
He needs to get used to gunfire anyway.
Oh, I've got all
Look at
back
that.
for
You can't hurt him. Look at that head on that dog. 85 pounds at 8 months old.
He's nearly as big as I am, and he's 8 months old. I'm going on
160.
80. Yeah, sit over here.
Tell everybody what this is.
Pick up whichever one of those is the lightest.
Because 50 years from now,
Where's
they
your
ain't gonna
gun?
know what clay pigeons are. Guns will probably have been outlawed for 30 years by then. Gary Chapman. Won't Chappie. Please won't Chappie.
My neighbor.
Neighbor.
You got it. Oh, you got earmuffs on.
Oh yeah, but mine are turning things up.
Yeah, that's right.
Mine aren't turning things
Well, maybe you
down.
ought to take them off your head, because I don't use them unless you shotgun. Ain't that loud.
Well, these are light loads, though.
I'll be all right.
But now I don't know how much effect they're gonna hurt your ears.
We'll know in just a second.
Right.
All right.
You rather be there, or you wanna go to?
I'd rather be right here. That way I ain't in front
See,
of that camera.
see that skillet turned edgeways there?
Yeah.
Take and see if you can hit it on the edge and straighten it back.
Like this?
Yeah. Oh, you made it worse. That's all right.
Turned it around even worse.
Yeah. That didn't work out too good, did it? Now keep them rascals up here all you can. Now get set. I ain't gonna do no trickery.
All right.
I can trick you with these clay pigeons. I can really mess you up.
All right. Pull.
He's gonna take one. I'm gonna take the
I'll
other.
take one. He takes the other. Frank the Beast.
Now, I remember, I'm out of practice on this.
So are we. Ready?
Everybody got your safeties off?
Yep. We're about to shoot, Granny. All right. Pull. Oh, I got mine.
Shot over mine.
I got mine.
Spring.
Be careful. Alright. Cool.
I got it too. We
Shot
both
the
got it.
leftovers, huh?
You both got it.
Guess what we are? Republicans.
You ready to back him up, Ike?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll back him up.
Wish I could have landed from the hip. Ready?
Yeah.
Pull.
Second shot got it.
Yeah.
Whoever fired
I was a little over.
it.
You're
You don't want to shoot one, do you?
No.
Alright.
I'm afraid to break my shoulder or
Yeah.
my collarbone.
You're a little bony.
See, I made it stupid me. I'd launched a grenade off a M1 rifle one time from my shoulder. I'd seen one of the cooks do it. Well, he weighed 300 pounds. I weighed 128. Broke my collarbone.
Oh. Just as kind of something I thought would be funny. Last Christmas I bought Pap a gun. It would be 2005. And I bought him the most powerful handgun on earth. At least
Well,
it's
a shield.
built that way. It's the 50 caliber Smith & Wesson revolver. As you can tell, it looks like a cartoon. It shoots these.
Like a Elmer Fudd gun.
Just give you an idea how big that is. Large. It
all
only
right.
holds-
Fire it up.
Probably,
I don't put
You're the only
many.
ones that can fire it.
yeah, everybody's afraid of it.
Everybody remember, you don't shoot that without airbus.
Yeah, I probably ought to get a. Can you grab where you got them?
Well, I got 10, 12 pairs.
Look at that. You imagine walking up and go, "What do you want? Hey, what are y'all talking about over there?" Hey.
People wouldn't think they were.
Yeah, I might ought to put some on.
No,
Yeah, yeah.
it'll compress.
All right,
See blood runs
I'm gonna
outside.
stand over
Cover
here.
those ears.
What happened here?
Look, Gary, what about your ears?
Oh, I'll be all right. Maybe.
I don't know. It went through it so fast it didn't even shake it.
I hit it though. Look at that big old, big,
Yeah.
big piece of paint missing.
Yeah.
I hit it.
Well, that's what I say. It went through it so fast it didn't shake it. Don't shoot it. Yeah, you're okay. Shoot it single action.
Yeah, you hit the same spot.
Dang it.
You feel it all the way through your hands up in
Oh,
your
I
arm.
suspect so. I can
feel
feel
a
it in my
concussion?
toes. Yeah.
The easiest one's on the back fence.
I think so.
Can you tell he's my grandpa?
But you shoot that big one there if you don't.
Alright, I'll see if I can get it.
I mean, come on.
Shooting it, it is.
See what I can
Let me wait till I get away from you.
Alright. Got it.
You get it?
Yeah. Nailed it. Take one more. That's it. Let's go.
We got one more.
I'm gonna shoot them little targets. Shoot. Oh! Oh, I hit the little target. Did you see that?
You don't shoot them little targets with a 50 Magnum. Man, those are for 22s. Those for 22s. No wonder I can't keep no 22 targets.
Unbelievable.
You gotta shoot this thing
I
now.
have to shoot it once. Yeah, you're right.
What are we shooting at?
5 rounds. Shoot the big orange
tail?
skillet. Got it.
Yeah, a little edge.
You got it, dude.
Golly, this thing shoots great.
You're killing it.
He's killing it.
Gary can shoot.
He
now.
killed it dead that time.
5 rounds. How about that? You have to get you one now.
Oh, you think? That is awesome. God,
It's a hand cannon.
with earplugs, it's still like, you can
It's
feel
like
the
you're shooting a cannon.
concussion of it.
Yeah.
Makes your nose vibrate, don't it? Well, I saw my neighbor coming. I knew something was wrong with Jim. He mowed graveyards. He used one of our pickups to haul his lawnmower and weed eater and stuff with him. So I knew Mr. Liggins rolled up. He said, "Jimmy's in trouble at Como, and I'm afraid of what's going to happen." Well, of course, I had a 12 gauge shotgun loaded with buckshot in the car and this 45 automatic.
There's a lot of people a lot more.
Cause I mean, I didn't wear a gun working in the fields, you know, but I had them handy.
Bring it out.
Cause we were deer territory out there. And the people that wanted them, I'd shoot them for them. We didn't eat them, so I won't kill anything that's gonna be wasted.
All I can control
Nothing.
is what I do.
And anyway,
How much I don't, you know.
I tore out of there that old 48 Chevrolet truck with a grain bed on it, and it was about half full. And from where we was at to Como was probably about 9-10 miles.
It's like trying to catch lightning in a bottle, but you got
And when I went out, I just put it to the floor, and when I hit the blacktop, I just held it to the floor. I don't know what I was doing. I come rolling up, and the whole town, which is about 500 people, was all grouped around the community store, big store.
That's been a big transition here from working.
And one of them run out and met me and said, see those 3 big black boys over there? Said Jim done whipped one of them. One of them stuck his arm in the glass. In the glass to pick up, and Jim rolled it up and then run off with him hanging on the side of it. I said, that's probably made him mad, didn't it? He said, yeah, they're going to kill him if you don't do something. Well, somebody tapped me on the shoulder. I had a shotgun exactly like that you were shooting tonight, except old. Well, I didn't think I spent a lot of time in the regular Army. When he touched me on the arm, I just give him a horizontal butt stroke like that, and his head nearly flew off, and it was the mayor of the town trying to talk me out of what I was about to do, or what he thought I might do.
I nailed it.
And about that time, Jim come out, my son. He can tell this story better than I can. But I was so scared for him and so mad, I'd have killed the whole town if I could have, if they'd offered any resistance. But when I knocked that mare down with the butt of that shotgun, they scattered like a covey of quail. Them 3 black guys started running up that road, and I'm telling you the truth, that one fat one, he was big and fat. He was running, and I was standing there behind him, and he knew what I could do to him with that shotgun. And he was running so fast, his big fat bottom was just a flopping. But he was digging so hard his shoe soles was throwing gravel clean back off the edge, right up on to me. I thought, it ain't worth it. So I just let the hammer down. Jim was okay. I mean, you know, you just don't mess with people, especially not my family. Don't ever. And they messed with him. And one of them got away. We just captured and held tied up with 2 of them. Two of them. One of them got away. Meantime, the sheriff got there and he wasn't even carrying a gun. I said, what goddamn good are you without even a gun? He said, you got 2. May I have one of yours? I said, you wouldn't know what to do with it. I was relieved and still mad, scared.
Yeah.
So, got Jim straightened out, started out, and that one got away, that black boy. Well, he hid in the attic of his grandmother's house down at, what is that little old place down the store we'd go to down there? Ore Springs. Ore Springs. He hid in the attic of her house for 5 or 6 days, and she finally turned him into the law.
What town was it in Texas that you guys? She said you were in the panhandle of Texas. Where?
Just north of Pampa, 8 miles where our land started. We had 3/4 sections there, and then we rented a section and a half from a neighbor, Roy Tinsley. And this is all irrigated land. We drilled the wells, had them drilled ourselves. First irrigation wells in Texas Panhandle in 1956. We drilled 2, and Roy Tinsley drilled 1, and Wade Duncan drilled another at the same time, and every one of us raised cotton for 15 years, and every one of those men that raised that cotton are dead but me, and I am solid cancer from that left testicle all the way to the top of my lungs. And I've had colon cancer surgery twice, 40 weeks of chemotherapy back in '84. And my doctor says the only reason I'm alive was that chemotherapy I took in '84. Held me until it played out last year.
Right.
Now that nothing can be done.
Right.
It's over. All but the final limb.
That and the fact that I gotta do this little scene for you all right here is one of my favorite things I did to this man growing up that I always got a big kick out of. He really didn't think it was that funny. Would you mind facing the camera there, sir?
Oh.
Thank you. Now that's comedy.
That's comedy.
What do you think about this bunch of nuts? How could anybody, and I've got in a neighborhood,
Wait a second, keep talking.
I've got in a neighborhood of about somewhere between 38 and 40 of them. Similar. Of course, a lot of them are girls. And some of them are down to great grandchildren. I mean, you know.
You got a mess on your hands. is
Oh,
what
I got
you
a mess.
Yeah.
I got to get out of here.
Let's go eat a hamburger. It's ready.
Okay.
Come on, here's
You gotta tell how you laughed about brother when the tutor fell.
Well, I
in
can
the
see it
mud.
plain right
the
now.
saddle and all this. Start from the
Especially when
beginning.
that-
I want to hear the whole thing.
Well, her Brenda and Jim, she had a black horse named Henry. Retired quarter horses. It's about 14 years old. And Jim had a, what was it, red and white?
Strawberry rum.
Strawberry roan quarter horse, a lot heavier than, he was bigger than Henry. And ornerier than a rattlesnake and most time that's the way he wanted to be.
What was his name?
Tudor.
Name it.
We
What's
got
the
him
name
from
of it?
Tudor Henry. That's the man's name that dealt in horses. Wore out horses.
So it was Tudor and Henry after Tudor.
That's their name, Tudor and Henry.
Name, Tudor Henry.
Anyway, we'd had an old buffalo waller. Buffalo waller's a shallow lake in the Texas Panhandle where the buffaloes would waller them out a hole and they'd catch rain and when it rained. And anyway, we'd had a bulldozer go in there and dig a deep pond, not so big but deep. So we'd have some reserve water down there. That's where King got shot with a 10-gauge shotgun. Didn't die. But I was over here, we'd been chasing the neighbor's cattle back into their side, and Jim had rode around the fence, or around the pond, to come in to get to where he could give Tudor some water, and I'd finished twisting that barbed wire together, fixing the fence. I got back on Henry, and about the time I got back on Henry, old Tudor stepped off the edge of the deep, into the deep part of that pond. Well, of course, he tried to avoid it, and he couldn't stop. Well, it was awfulest. All I could see was horses' legs, boys' legs, and head now and then. And me and Henry over here, and we couldn't get around there very fast. I finally got around there.
You were here watching this whole thing.
No,
No.
I saw my brother burst in the door, the maddest I ever seen.
Oh,
I didn't laugh at the
man,
hardest I
he
ever
was
seen.
hopping mad. He had a red and white saddle and knock your eyes out. And there was this horse on his back and then on his side, and Jim being whirled around with him. Black mud. I finally got around there. I was just almost afraid to get there. Finally got there. About the time Tudor got his feet under him, got up. Jim come crawling up out of it. Only thing you could see was his mouth kind of working a little. There's so much mud on him.
The horse actually rolled on him.
Yeah, he rolled him in the
Smushed him out of
mud.
the mud.
Yeah, 1,600 pound horse.
God.
Scared to death. Anyway, we finally got him kind of washed up. Jim, to where, and I made sure he didn't seem to be hurt. How old was he then?
About 11.
About 11 or 12.
Little chubby 11 years old.
The horse was
Little fat boy.
The fat boy.
the horse was definitely too much for him.
Daddy was a fat boy at 11, wasn't he?
Yeah. No, no.
He wasn't too much for a fat boy?
No. But anyway, was he a fat boy? Okay, he was a fat boy. Got him washed
He was
off.
a fat boy.
Of course, his concern was that red and white
Yeah.
saddle. That red and white saddle wasn't red and white, it's black.
It's always been a little flashy.
So he tried to dip up a handful of water and wash that saddle. I said, forget the saddle, get on the horse and go to the barn. We'll clean you up and look you over. I said, one of you may be hurt. Well, okay, he said. We got outside and I hooked that gate up behind us and we started up the road. Well, Tudor took the bit in his mouth, you know what that is. I mean, he took it and clamped it, and he got down in the bar ditch. And you have never seen a Kentucky thoroughbred that could have outrun how fast that horse run, but he could see his barn up there. And there was posts and pieces of barbed wire, and first one thing another in that ditch, but nothing happened.
You were laughing like a hyena.
I couldn't keep from laughing. He outrun Henry's 3-1. Henry wasn't a third fast enough to keep up with Tudor.
My brother was just screaming. He was screaming at the top of his lungs. He was trying not to cry, and he was so mad because his daddy kept laughing at him and couldn't stop laughing at him. And he said he could have killed me, and he's laughing at me. That horse skidded to a stop. It was hilarious. It was funny.
When he turned into our driveway there at the house off of the road, his feet through rocks. I don't know how far he turned that turn.
It sounded like a car skidding in, and it was a horse.
Yeah, like a horse, a car on as a horse.
He skidded around that curve. That horse was
He headed for that barn. By that time, me and Henry finally got there. Between Jim and the horse, I like to have never. I don't know how long it took to get them cleaned up.
Black clay mud.
Cause we used pressure hose on the horse. May have on the boy. I don't remember. I don't remember.
Robbie did use pressure washer on Dad. Come here, fat boy. It's your pressure.
But I,
All right, Pap, I'm gonna make a story request. The blue bomb.
what?
The blue bomb.
Oh God.
It's a story request.
Well, I can't.
Did you forget it?
No, of course not. I got a picture of it over there. The front end of it. One day I was over at the Buick dealer, Chuck Nyman at Borger, Texas. And Chuck said, Bill, there's a friend of mine got a car that I cannot trade for and I cannot buy because he will not take any less than $20,000 cash for it. I said, my God, what is it? He said, it's a 61 Pontiac, that is in 63. I said, a 61 Pontiac, and he got to have $20,000. He said, get in my car. We went to that guy's house. His living room was about half big as this room, and it was solid. 2 walls of it with trophies that he'd won with that car. And Chuck said, ask him, I can't remember the man's name. He said, is there anything wrong with that car now? He said, no. And he described everything that's in it. 3/4 cam, dual exhaust. It was made at the factory for him. And starting about middle ways of transmission, the frame, you know how they're shaped, was filled with lead all the way to the back end. Lead.
Why?
Heavy.
Hold it.
Weigh it down?
Yeah, well, the tires was that wide on the back of it. I looked at that car and I had to have it. But the thoughts of $20,000 was just absolutely, is unspeakable. You could buy, let's see, you could buy 5 or 6 brand new cars for $20,000. You know.
In 63, yeah.
Yeah, in 63. But anyway, Chuck said, you know I can't do nothing with the car. And I asked him, but in the meantime, he told me, this man absolutely won't lie to you. I'll guarantee my life about anything you ask him. I said, okay, I know you, and that's good enough. And I asked him, man, I said, is there anything that I need to do to that car? He said, all it needs is polishing and a home. I said, how much less than $20,000 have I got to pay for that car? He said, you ain't gonna get it for less than $20,000 if you put it at $1,909, a dollar less. He said, I'm gonna have $20,000 for that car. So I paid him. And I drove it home.
Granny was
What
excited.
Granny say when she found out you spent 20?
Didn't know it.
You didn't know he spent
Granny
20
didn't
grand?
know what I paid for it.
Oh,
Still didn't until later.
It was bar.
20K
That
on a
it,
61
that-
Pontiac.
$20,000 was borrowed money from First National.
Oh.
They couldn't even buy groceries, see? So that's the good reason I didn't know.
I think that was probably a smart thing to not tell you that.
Oh, I think so.
What was so great? Why was it 20,000? I mean, what in the? Why?
It's fast.
Oh, I run one race in it. Down there, they kind of had to have it. We had a big used car lot. Had a two room, a big shop, and a two room office. Actually, it'd been a little house. And a lot of times on Saturday afternoon, there'd happen to be a bottle of whiskey show up, and they'd kind of get nipping around like whoever was around. You didn't do much on Saturday afternoon on the independent lot. So we was, I don't know, 6, 7 guys there nipping at it. And they got to look at that Pontiac, and one said, "That don't look like much of a car to me." Now, these people didn't know what I paid for that car.
I don't think it would be smart to tell anybody what you paid for that car.
It was a long time before anybody knew it, except me and Chuck Nyman and the guy I bought it from.
Why? I mean, why did you? What was so great about the car? You haven't told us yet.
It had a top speed of over 200 miles per hour.
Pap's
If you had a long enough place to run it in.
You gotta know Pap liked top speed. He was running moonshine. How old were you when you were running moonshine in Kentucky?
14.
Where were you running shine?
From New Haven, Kentucky to Bristol, Tennessee, and you know who my buyer was? Old Sergeant York of World War One.
You're kidding.
No.
So you delivered to him?
Drove a 30 model Chevrolet. I had a 41 Buick. At that time, had to been in 41.
Were you just running or were you making it?
No, I'd buy it.
You would buy it and run
I'd
it.
pay $2 a gallon, deliver it to him for $6. And I took all the chances. Haul it in a $35, $40 car. And I could haul,
$39 car.
oh, generally about 80 gallons without it
Yeah.
showing up above through nothing conspicuous.
Yeah.
I didn't use that Buick for nothing like that, because
Yeah.
they'd have took one look at that Buick and they'd know there's too much money involved there. But anyway, we did on our way to, it wasn't no we, it was me. On our way from New Haven to Bristol, I was already over in the Tennessee side, getting towards Bristol. Doggone tie rod end come off that old Chevrolet. Down in a creek I went. Well, guys come along, picked up, hauled me back up. I finally got home. So got a new tie rod end, tools, and got 2 of my cousins, Morris and Norris Hope.
Who?
Morris and Norris.
Morris and Norris.
They were twins, yeah.
Morris and
Well,
Norris.
Morris and Norris.
Yeah. We went down there and in there and finally got that old car picked up enough to where we could get on and put a new tie rod in on it. Well, 2 old farmers come along riding some kind of mules, but they had harness on them. But they'd already looked in that car and they knew what was in it. Nobody else had noticed it. Way down the edge of that creek. And this one said, "You want us to put these mules in that car and pull it out of there? You never get it out." Of course, now I had 2 guys with me, but we couldn't pull it out with a car.
Right.
I said, "Just exactly what are you going to charge me?" This one, I don't remember what he said. I don't think he said anything other than said, "It's going to cost you $200. Then I knew they knew.
They wanted shine.
They knew what was in there.
So you give them the shine instead?
I give them the $200 to pull the car out with the mules,
And kept the shine.
and kept the shine delivered to Sergeant York.
When's the first time you saw Bob Wills?
Oh, Bob Wills. Okay. It would have been late.
1826?
No. Bob
1712?
Wills.
1712?
No, Bob Wills was 1948. 1948. At the Southern Club south of Pampa on that highway, whatever it is, goes down through there. Now, it was a big nightclub out of city limits. Well, Bob Wills and the Texas Troubadours, I believe is
Texas
what they were.
Playboys.
Playboys.
Bob
Texas,
Wills and the Texas Playboys.
yeah. They were playing, and veterans, if they wore the uniform, could get in free. Now remember, this was just 3 years after, 2.5 years after World War II had ended. They were still coming out of the army. Well, of course, naturally, everybody I knew was an ex-GI, just about. So me and your Uncle Chester and Howard Farley and I don't know who all, a bunch of us that worked together, we went, of course, free. And your wife could go with your girlfriend or whatever. We went in there, we was in there. Have you ever heard Bob Wills?
Not live.
Hi.
I got his records, but I never got to hear him.
He had the highest voice I have ever heard. I ever pop. I'd have to pop him. And the crowd outside, it couldn't get him. Well, they charged him something by, I think, $6-7 a piece. Just to, they raised all the windows so they
Just to
could
sit
get-
outside and listen.
The civilians couldn't get in because it's full of GIs.
Oh, yeah.
And Chester ended up in a fight as usual with two sailors, real sailors. They were still in. They decided they didn't like the looks of a first sergeant that had hash mark, Hershey bars all over one sleeve, hash marks over this sleeve, and a chest full of medals here and medals here, and all that.
All right. They just didn't like that.
They didn't like the looks of it. And when he stood up, of course, he stood what? About 6'4",
He was
about
big.
225. Hard
Big.
as steel, regular army strictly.
Meaner than a snake.
Well, he
At
was,
that level.
anytime you aggravate
That's
him,
what I'm saying.
you done stirred up a.
I mean, his hand was just, it's like a club.
Oh yeah.
It was like it was just like a, his
Well,
hand was big as
the
your whole
man.
face.
He's the man that taught me to quail hunt, train bird dogs, use bird dogs, everything. He was my brother. And anyway, we was in there, and Bob Wills was just getting good and started. He hadn't really got into them hooping yodels and stuff. Called, what do you call it? Texas swing or
Yeah.
what?
Yeah,
Texas
Texas
swing.
swing.
Texas
He
swing.
created it.
He created it. Yeah, he wrote it and they played it, and nobody else could do it.
No,
Only thing was he died. But anyway,
that slowed him down a little bit.
yeah, that slowed him down a little bit. Anyway, we were sitting there, and Chester was sitting right out the end. They had benches in there like old church pews, only they was padded up. And they'd moved, I don't know what they did with the little tables and chairs they normally would have, but they had it full of church pews. Chester was sitting out there on the end, and then Edna was sitting there, and I think maybe I was next or second from them or something. Well, there was two big, young, probably in the early 20s, regular Navy sailors come staggering in. They was drunk. Well, Chester, I guess he had his knee kind of out in the aisle, and this guy bumped him. He jerked it in and said, "I'm sorry, sailor." Why, you big, ugly, dumb, army-looking son of a SOB, why don't you just get up from there and I'll just see what you're made out of?
Boy.
Boy, he made a fatal mistake. There was two of them sailors. They were as big as Chester. They didn't amount to a hill of beans. He not only would knock one from here to that wall over there, sometimes he'd just pick up one and throw him like throwing a spear. I said to Edna, my sister, I said, I believe Chester's mad. She said, I know he's mad. He said, he don't like you can insult him, but you don't insult his uniform.
Right.
Right. Oh, he whipped them guys. There was blood all over that place. Of course, the band had to stop.
So Bob Wells is up there, and he's just.
He was eating it up.
Oh, I bet Bob Wells loved it.
Oh, he did. That's what I mean. He loved it. Right here.
Oh yeah,
You remember the song?
I know Bobby Braddock very, very well.
Okay. He
And-
made
and
that for
Kurt.
me and autographed it and sent it, give it to me, what, about 3 or 4 years ago?
Yep. Bobby Braddock.
Now, to me, George Jones and that were the greatest #1 country song ever written. Now, there's some people that don't agree with me, but they won't do it to my face.
I agree.
And they like they killed it, so what? They didn't kill him.
You said, what are you?
You know,